So hey, attention. Any British people out there? You stink, and I hate you. You're stinky, and that's the decision I've made after watching this 30-minute long documentary on YouTube about the Troubles. The Troubles, they call it, guys. What do you think of the Troubles as a title?
I don't know. I think it probably could have been better.
Yeah, that's what this guy was saying too.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't even do the fucking accent. He's like, because they have like a Belfast accent, and it's like different than the ones that I am familiar with. So they're all like fucking. He's like, I don't like the name of, because it's fucking, it's like, it sounds like a bunch of civilians like throwing stones around, like fucking.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna edit all this out because I keep thinking this is like some live stream and it's not, and nobody can hear us, so I'm like stumbling over my words. But yeah, he was like, it makes it sound like it was just some scuffle between like citizens where they were like throwing stones at each other, and he's like, that's not at all. It was essentially like a civil war. It was like and then the guy asks, he says to the interviewer, he's like, how would you react as an American? Or if you were an American, because the interviewer was British, how would you react if Russians just like pulled up on your land one day? And he was like, would you call the French terrorists for doing what they resisting the Germans occupying their country in World War II? And it's like, yeah, probably not. And then like they go into this the history behind it, and it's like essentially like in like the 1100s. The British, because they were just empiring, and going hard, going crazy, going buck wild, some might say. And so Northern Ireland, like the region of Northern Ireland was like the closest to the British Isles, like Scotland and that. So they would just, they're like, let's colonize Ireland, because why not? It's like right there. And, we're a seafaring nation. We have strong navy. We have strong shit. I'm assuming. I don't know about 1000s, but they were able to get over there, obviously. So they started like incentivizing loyalist like Irish people and British colonists they were like, if you we'll give you land if you just. So they started like just booting Irish people out. They're just like, goodbye. Oh, you don't live here no more. And so that like pissed them off, and then so that went on for like a while, and like. So there was like a Protestant. It was also like a religious thing too, because like the Church of England, Protestant, Irish, Catholic. So there was like this big religious scuffle, because that was a big deal all over Europe. And then so like they the Protestant English had kids and had kids and had kids and had kids, and eventually this whole region of what is now Northern Ireland became Protestant like dominant. So then there was like a partition, and I forgot like when exactly this. I think it was 1918 or 1920. There's because I just watched this one video. That's why I'm such an expert. That's why I'm an expert on this.
Yeah.
But there was a partition, which most Irish people didn't agree with. But which, funny enough, like they had like aerial drone footage of current day Belfast. There's still like some fucking Berlin Wall in Belfast that separates the fucking Protestants and the Irish, which is like, you'd think I couldn't believe that was like an actual thing, but it's like there, and it's very tall.
No, Irish people are very definitely still racist against British people. I have very little knowledge of that, but I like.
That's why I wanted to know more about this, because I'm like,
No, I watch I've told you about him before. Not to derail this, I'll let you keep going. But
no, you're good.
The MMA YouTuber or whatever, Napoleon Bonaparte.
MMA janitor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, check out that guy's channel, guys, the MMA janitor.
The Napoleon Bonaparte, I wish I remember the whole thing, but it like almost caught me off guard, because he was talking about something, and then he just like dropped in like, yeah, if you're as good at smoking British people as we are, like it's like talking about how like essentially like it's in Irish people's blood to like kill British people and like fuck British people. And it's just like randomly in the middle of this MMA video, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. This is like 2020 whatever, and you're still like, no, fuck Britain. You guys can go fuck yourselves.
There was so much like in this little video. It was really. That's why I was like, because this guy. It was like, where did I leave off? there was the
partition.
Partition, and then okay, so like you have Northern Ireland, and then the Republic of Ireland or whatever. They tried to make like a Northern Southern Ireland. They try to do they fucking part Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland.
Yeah.
They start like
Well, it's Northern Ireland and Ireland, right? But yeah.
Yeah. Well, they literally tried to split it into North and South.
Oh, okay. Initially.
But it became, I think. I mean, I don't. You know, all my Irish.
Yeah.
I think that was on the piece of paper that they like signed was that like it would be North and South, but which I'm guessing they were trying to take more of it.
Yeah.
You know, because British are gonna Brit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they just had scuffles for a while, and then I guess like in '68 that shit just kind of like, it just kind of boiled. It came to a head, and motherfuckers started blowing shit up, and then that lasted for around 30 years. And the British occupation of Northern Ireland didn't stop until like 2008, and it's like the longest occupation of British forces on like anywhere ever, is like the fucking island that's right next to their island, like you know what I mean? And the guy in the documentary called it the Big Island, which I think is funny, and I think I'm gonna steal that. I think that's what I'm gonna call it now. But he was like, to come back to what I was just gonna reference. They were like asking him if he regrets any, because the people they're interviewing, they interview a Protestant guy and then a Catholic guy, so an IRA guy and then an Ulster. I forgot the name, but it's like the region of Ulster is like kind of the Northern Irish like general area, I guess. And so they're like, do you regret the violence that you caused on people? And they're like, no, pretty much like, I don't regret the violence. I regret the lives that were lost, but no, I don't regret the violence at all, because like they were like invaders and like they had to go. And then I told you about like they did the fucking internment camps, and for a while, in Northern Ireland, Protestants were just given like better they just had better status overall, like they were treated better. Most of the police force was Protestant. The way that housing worked was you had to get approved by like a housing council to like live, and that was the only way you could vote. So it was like this weird circle where like you had to vote to like who would be the head of like the council, and if you didn't own property you couldn't vote. So the council people who were mostly Protestant would like house Protestants. So then like the Catholics like straight up just couldn't vote them out, and then they also couldn't get housing. So they were just like homeless and shitty. And
yeah, that's crazy.
That lasted. There was just a bunch of bullshit going on. Tanks driving around, fucking bombs going off. Fucking it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I definitely knew that it was like a crazy. I didn't realize. Oh, I'm yawning. I didn't realize how much of like a for real civil war was. I mean,
no, neither did I.
I brought it up before at you, but a different MMA YouTuber, MMA guru, he talked about that like, essentially, Irish people do that to keep out British people, because they want to like, it's a very small island. They want like-minded people or whatever, you know what I mean? They want to be able to live their way or whatever, right? And then now there's this funny thing called the EU or whatever, right? And they're like, no, you have to take all these refugees because fuck you. And it's like, well, we killed people, like, we blew up cars and like we lost a lot of lives rather recently. I
didn't even think about that.
To keep
they are in the EU.
Yeah, they're like, we actually don't want we don't want people that aren't specifically Irish Catholic, the same way Japanese people don't want specifically Japanese Buddhist people. You know what I mean? Like they don't. We're a very small island, and a very small group of people will immediately ruin the whole everything that we have and have had for thousands of years. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, it's gonna get washed away like rather quickly. And they did literally what you're saying happened like 30 years ago, and now because of like grander worldwide laws and bullshit. There's just a bunch of fucking like
Yeah.
Ukrainians or whatever that are just gonna flood into
Yeah.
their country, and it's just like, well, dude, like what do you mean? We tried really, really, really hard to make sure that that doesn't happen, you know, and it's crazy, very, very honestly kind of unfortunate because it's like not even not even to be like racist or anything, but like they should have their right to, you know what I mean, isolate themselves or whatever.
It's a fine line between nationalism
Yeah,
and
exactly.
racism.
Yeah,
but
yeah, there is a fine
I
line.
agree. But it's like especially with them, you know, because like you said, it's such a small island.
That's the thing. There's countries
And,
like America. There's countries like France or whatever that will
Yeah, we
like
don't
take
have a
people
distinct
in.
culture.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
And
exactly.
The natives
There's-
are like, you know, they
Yeah,
got fucked. They
yeah.
got
We already,
absolutely fucked.
yeah, exactly. We
It's
already
like-
fucked the people that lived here. So whatever.
Yeah,
send
which
us
wasn't
all the
fair,
people,
not
and then
cool.
that's whatever. But a country like I'm quite sure Japan wouldn't take any refugees from anywhere because fuck you.
No,
you know
they're
what I mean?
super homogenous.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they
So
wanna
it's
remain
like
that way.
why like Ireland is a
They
smaller
don't want no gaijin running
fucking
around.
country with less people. You know what I mean? So why just force
Yeah,
all
and
these
there's already
people
their
into
language is almost extinct.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
nobody
and then,
fucking,
and then
like-
so all these people are gonna speak like Ukrainian or Polish, or you know, a war breaks out in fucking, you know, Zimbabwe, and then all those people are gonna go there, and it's like, well, dude, we well, why do we have to house all these people? We don't even have the resources to house all these people. We barely have the resources to house ourselves. You know, I'm not.
because the Protestants. No. I'm just
Yeah, well, they'd live off potatoes and stuff. You know.
Yeah. Potatoes are good.
I've seen very few movies that take place in Ireland, but every time I've seen a movie that takes place in Ireland, it's like, oh wow, this is like a small village still.
No, there's no fucking trees.
Yeah.
How many trees did you see in any of these movies?
Exactly. None, actually.
There's no trees there.
They still
There's
live in they live in like stone huts and stuff still, and they go to like the
Yeah.
singular tavern in
It's
town.
all cobblestone and
Yeah.
the castle bar. The towns are really cool though. Like the
No, they do
actual
definitely look
towns,
cool.
And yeah, I really want to go there. I want to go there one day.
Yeah, I want to
Visit
try
the
one.
old country.
The
I can't
old
say
country. Old country's kind of crazy. That's
The
funny.
old country. The old country.
Yeah, I want to travel more. I want to go to a bunch of places. I want to go to Germany. I want to go to fucking.
Yeah, you can. You can go you know, British Isles. You can take the Channel.
The Channel. What is that?
It's a tunnel under the Channel.
Oh.
Goes from England to France. All the way.
That's dope. That is cool.
You go all the way there. Which is you know, I thought the Mackinac Bridge was long, but how long is the Channel?
I've never been to Mackinac. Never been to a lot of places. I need to do more going places.
It's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Mackinac.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's like
31
overly
miles.
touristy. Like it's like really like everything's super duper expensive, and it's kind of
Yeah, because there's a lot of like tourist
Yeah.
towns and shit, and like yeah. Wait, you're talking about the island?
yeah. I
Oh,
think. Or wherever, I don't know. I've just heard that fucking.
Oh, like that area.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So you got like Mackinac City, and then like on the other side, I think is like Saint Ignace, which is in the UP, the Upper Peninsula,
Yeah, the peninsular.
and then in between you can ferry from I think either one to the island, but the island is for sure a tourist place. Like it's very, you know, it's just fudge shops and souvenir shops and shit. But there's no cars.
There's no cars on the
There's
island.
no cars allowed, except for like fire trucks and EMS. So everyone's riding bikes or walking or on horses.
On horses?
Yeah,
On horses is crazy.
yeah, or carriages.
That's actually that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's dope up there. Yeah, you should. We could just pull up there one day.
Honestly.
To be honest, go
Yeah.
fucking see the sand dunes.
Yeah.
The bear dunes.
Yeah, I
I've
know.
never seen the bear dunes.
Yeah.
I want to find a Petoskey stone. Like since I was a kid, I always wanted to find a Petoskey stone.